Hey everyone, my name is Stasia and I follow a high carb, low fat, oil-free plant-based diet for both health and weight loss. And today I'm going to be sharing with you two of my new favorite snacks, starting with potato popcorn. I've seen these circulating in the whole food plant-based community. Some people call them potato bites, some people call them potato balls. I like to call them potato popcorn because, well, mine look like popcorn, so let me show you how I do it. So all I did to start off was peel, wash, and cube 5 white potatoes. If you're making this just for yourself, then you would be fine with just doing 2 potatoes. My husband wanted some, so I made a little extra. So all you're going to do is throw them into some boiling water and cook until they're nice and soft. But be sure to hang on to some of that water because you're going to be needing it. Now I'm going to show you how I make my super easy, fat-free 2-minute gravy that I love eating with my potato popcorn. So you're just gonna start by adding 2 cups of that reserved potato water into a separate saucepan. To thicken the gravy, we're going to be using potato starch. However, I'm sure that cornstarch would work just as well. But first, we're gonna add some flavor to this potato water by adding 1 teaspoon of Vegeta seasoning. This is an MSG version as well as vegan. Next, we'll be adding 1 teaspoon of cumin, and lastly, a 1/4 teaspoon of oregano. Give it all a really good stir and bring it to a boil, and then once it's boiling, you can take it off of the heat. Now we are going to thicken up this gravy by adding 1/2 cup of cold water mixed with 2 tablespoons of the potato starch. So all you want to do is just mix it right in the water, give it a really good stir, make sure that there's no clumps or anything like that, and then lastly, we're going to add it directly to the pot. When you first start mixing it in, I would recommend going a little bit slowly. As you can see, it does thicken up almost instantly, so you can gauge it. You may not even necessarily need to use the whole starch amount. However, I did, and it came out to be the most perfect consistency. As you can see, it's really nice and thick. Just remember to do it while it's off of the heat. And also keep in mind, this gravy is delicious not just for the potato popcorn, but it would be wonderful over a baked potato or just mashed potatoes in general. I highly recommend it. Okay, so now for the fun part, we're going to be making the potato popcorn. So first I just start off by adding a little bit of seasoning. As you can see, I added some salt, I'm adding some garlic powder. You could throw in onion powder, paprika. You could really use any spices that you want. And then I'm adding in just a little bit of plant-based milk. And then we are going to mash them up. So as you can see, up until this point, it's pretty much the same as making mashed potatoes, except that I would recommend having them a little bit on the drier side compared to mashed potatoes, just because they'll hold up a little better. As you might be able to tell, I added a little bit too much milk in these. They still turned out amazing, but they would have been even better if they were a little bit dry. So as I mentioned before, some people just roll them up into a ball and just cook them that way. I actually kind of have fun making them look like popcorn. So as you can see, I just take a little bit bite-sized amount off of the fork and just kind of fluff it a little bit. I don't spend too much time doing it by any means, but it's just cute how they turn out because they actually do end up looking so much like actual popcorn. Well, caramel popcorn, that is, after they're done cooking. But either way, whatever shape you decide on, I'm sure you will enjoy these. These are so delicious and just so cute and fun. So once they're good to go, you want to throw them in your air fryer at about 375 degrees for about 8 minutes. Do watch them closely though, because of their size, they cook super fast. And if you're wondering, do these taste as good as they look? Well, that is a hard yes. It's such a fun little snack that anyone can enjoy. My husband loves them, my kids love them. So they're super crispy on the outside and really soft on the inside. I mean, how could you not love them? And seriously, you won't even miss the fat. You will not even be able to tell. So this is such a nice treat to set out as an appetizer. If you have guests coming over, it will be a crowd pleaser for sure. And also keep in mind, while this makes for a perfect little snack, it can also be used as part of a meal just the same. That part is completely up to you. And as always, remember that there are no hard rules. Have fun playing around with this recipe. Add different spices. You can swap out the ketchup and the gravy for maybe hot sauce or barbecue sauce or any other oil-free dips or sauces that you think might go well with it. Either way, definitely give this one a try, guys. You will not regret it. Okay, so my second snack I want to share with you guys is fat-free guacamole. Yes, you heard me right. I absolutely love guacamole, but my weight loss journey does not. So this has definitely been a lifesaver. So all you need to do is start off with 1 cup of frozen peas. I actually just nuked them in the microwave for about 1 minute, but I've also made it where I just ran them under cold water and it worked out just as fine that way too. Next, I'm just adding a handful of cilantro, 1 clove of garlic, and some lime juice. I didn't have any fresh limes on hand, so I'm just using the concentrated kind. However, fresh is always best. So as you can see, I'm just throwing everything into a mini food processor. So I'm just adding my cilantro and my garlic at this point. And then as far as the lime juice goes, I didn't really measure it out. I would guess that probably 1 to 2 tablespoons would do it. Kind of depends on your own preference as well. As you'll see here, I just end up kind of squirting what I think will be right. And then I think in the end, I ended up adding a little bit more after it was made as well. So again, it's just kind of a matter of personal preference. Then you just want to blend all the ingredients together for about 30 to 60 seconds until you have a nice creamy consistency. I've always used my mini food processor when making this. However, if you don't have one, then I'm sure a blender would work just as well. First of all, check out the gorgeous color on this. And secondly, look at that creamy consistency. I promise you, this is the next best thing to actual avocado guacamole. And once again, it's so hard to believe that it's actually fat-free. As you can see, I'm dishing it out to eat with my veggies there on the side, but this would actually be amazing on some kind of wrap, a sandwich, on top of potatoes, on top of rice. This could be used in many, many different ways. And as always, have fun playing around with this recipe. If you're not a huge fan of cilantro, then replace it with parsley or add some salsa to it, add some hot sauce, add different spices that you like. You can definitely play around with this recipe in the same way that you would if you were making avocado guacamole. I hope you guys give these snacks a try. It's easy to think of sugar and sweet stuff when we think of snacks, but let's not forget our savory snacks because these are just as good and in some cases even better for us. If it's your first time here, be sure to check out all of my other What I Eat in a Day videos, my recipe videos. I have tons of recipes as well as an upcoming recipe ebook where you will have all of my recipes ever shown on this channel before, so stay tuned for that. So be sure to hit subscribe so you don't miss those updates as well as my future videos. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.